My guess is that he sold himself as a complete coach when it comes to Zeke and running the football to Jerry Jones rather than I'm a good quarterback guy.
I'm not going to fault you on what you're guessing about. I respect where you're coming from. But I want you to be very, very careful about what you just said on national television. So Mike McCarthy helped develop Joe Montana, but Bill Walsh was there.
He was there with him.
Yeah, he was there. You know what? I mean, there's a lot of people here at ESPN with us.
Have you become better at your job watching him?
I understand. I'm not saying it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that when I hear the names to Joe Montana's or the Aaron Rodgers, listen to me. Listen to my point. When I hear the names that you threw out there, I have never heard the word Mike McCarthy until right now.
That's why I'm here, Stephen.
I appreciate that. But listen, I've been watching you. I've been watching you for a long time. Matter of fact, you was on the air when Mike McCarthy got fired. I didn't hear that then. So all I'm saying to you is when you bring up the names that you brought up,
well, I
never heard Mike McCarthy's name. I just want to say that.
I think what Dan says is illuminating for me in terms of why this hire. In other words, Jerry is starting with the premise that I need an executive in charge of the football team. And obviously McCarthy still has that Super Bowl stink on him, right? The question then is, well, why did he get fired? And the answer was really he did not adapt to changes in the modern game.
Correct.
So then the question was, among all the potential hires, who had that executive capacity and the Super Bowl resume, who could also sell Jerry on the fact that he was open-minded to embracing changes in the game. That makes sense to me.
Executive is a key word you just said. Will he be allowed to be? Here's my issue. My issue is not with Mike McCarthy. Coaches can evolve. They can get better. They can change schematically, put guys in a better situation. Is this a stopgap, or is this the guy that you're planning on saying, I finally relinquish your ability to coach the football team? That's my issue there. When I hear spent the night at his house, that's a problem for me, right? Because it's already establishing that I'm going to be highly involved in the things that we do here, and I want to make sure that you understand that, Mike McCarthy. This is all speculation. I don't want to get, based on the history of the Dallas Cowboys that we talk about, that you talk about, Stephen A. Max, this has always been the issue. Jerry, how much are you involved in the decision-making process?
But Marcus, it ain't like he spent the night in pajamas and they went to bed at 8. They hung out, they drank a good wine, smoked a couple cigars, and set a plan together.
Hold on one second. If it wasn't Jerry Jones, I wouldn't say this. You got to understand.
Sure.
We have almost.
You want to see a divorcing of Jerry from football operations or coaching.
He thinks
that's
it's
why I said
personal that it's in his home.
That's why I said speculation.
Now, as you well know, I mean, Jerry Jones is my buddy. Okay? You know that. And
were you at the sleepover too?
I was not at the sleepover. I was not invited. I was not invited. And you know what? That ain't the kind of pajama party I like to have. But here's the point. Here's the point that I'm trying to make to you.
Okay.
I do know various people with the Dallas Cowboys organization. You know I ain't talking about them without talking to a few people. And from my knowledge, I have always been told, and I was just told this a week ago, Jerry gonna be Jerry.
Right.
Ain't no change coming with Jerry Jones. And so, again, I want to make sure you understand, in no way am I attacking the resume of Mike McCarthy. I understand it. I respect it. He's a Super Bowl champion. Went to the playoffs 9 times out of 11 years, as Molly articulated. My issue is
9 and 13, actually.
9 and 13. Sorry. My biggest issue, and I need you to answer this, then. He walked out of Green Bay with the notion you're archaic, you're behind the times. We've passed you by. Essentially, and I don't want to put words because I don't know that Aaron Rodgers specifically said that. And I'm certainly not going to cast aspersions on that bad brother. All I'm saying is that's what they were saying about Mike McCarthy. Y'all don't have any problem that the last time we saw you, that was the narrative, and that's your hire?
That's a fair point. I don't have any problem with it because of what I've seen over the last year. Because the fact that he has locked himself in a room and watched a ton of tape with a bunch of other coaches and gone, what did I do that wasn't good?
He did that? You know that for a fact that he did that?
Tom Pelissero did it for a ton of stuff that he and ex-coaches have watch tape. They've set a routine every single day like they would be if they were still employed, having meetings, watching tape, getting current, all that stuff.
Okay.
I love the fact that Mike McCarthy identified, I'm not doing this well enough.
Okay.
I got to attack that
Okay,
stuff
that's
to get better.
That's
at it.
fair.
Question,
That's fair.
because like Tom Coughlin had to change when the players confronted him, and he wound up winning a Super Bowl, right? 5 minutes, you're not on time unless you're 5 minutes early.
They went to Jacksonville and reverted.
He went to Jackson, but his football philosophy didn't change, and it needed to. Anti-analytics, and like old school football, it didn't work well enough. Now he's gone. So McCarthy has to sell himself as a guy willing to embrace change. Jerry Jones is taking a leap of faith, but how much do you guys think it is that McCarthy doesn't strike me quite as a guy? There's some coaches with enough weight in the league who you can't really have your way with them.
Let me go back
Mike
to
Tomlin, Harbaugh, Andy Reid, Belichick.
The original
McCarthy
conversation.
seems not quite to be that.
And Max, that's where everything in my mind is evolving to, because my original conversation was this about this hire once Jason Garrett was finalized. Will that coach be able to sit in a meeting and not worry about defending his role, his position, the things that he wants to do without the relationship element coming into play? I can tell you, because I was there, 100% relationship in business was always involved when it came to Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett. It was not when it came to Bill Parcells and Jerry Jones. Parcells didn't want T.O. Jerry did. Jerry went and got him. All right? It played into that factor. Wade Phillips had great seasons. We won his first 2 years, went to the playoffs, had a great team, veteran team. Wade's philosophy wasn't naturally what everybody gravitated to. Remember the time they was calling out Camp Cupcake, and they don't work hard and they don't do that. But we were having success because of the makeup of that team.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube.
For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app.
And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.